five things, deadlift, squat or variation of, overhead, grip. It's not really a lift, but
yeah, train your grip.
there's a lot of people that are they're strong as hell, but they have to hold on to 300 pounds and they crumble. That's probably just like solid assistance work, so it's not really one thing, but you don't need to be doing cable curls or
right.
Flies or stuff like that. Stuff that's going to help you get a better deadlift, to get a better squat. Pull-ups, upper back work, hamstring work, posterior chain work. Things that are going to help you, get a better deadlift, get a better squat, get a better overhead, that kind of thing. So basically simple power movements and good accessory work.
Yeah. So give these some of these people are kind of like I said, more advanced, some more new. What would be some? I know you talked about stiff-legged deadlifts. Talked about the floor press. What would be some your core assistance moves that always in your cycle? I know you said you're talking about front squats, a big core lift for you Zerchers, maybe rattle off some assistance exercises, and then why that's important for what you're doing and why it's important for say an athlete maybe to do those lifts.
Probably, I think probably one of the best pull-ups. That helps I think with more pretty much anything in strongman you're using some form of fashion of your back. Pull-ups are a variation of, if you have to do banded, it's sort of a pull-downs, something, that movement, straight leg deadlifts, good mornings, that's all hitting, your posterior chain, and, that everything, there's not an event in strongman where, you're not using your back. You have to have a strong back, a strong core. Try to do as much stuff without a belt as possible. You don't rely on your belt to for warm-up sets. Go as heavy as you can until you deem it necessary. Obviously, I don't want you going to the gym and trying to max out.
Yeah.
Without a belt. Don't be stupid. But that's going to help. I do beltless yoke runs, beltless farmers as heavy as possible. It just builds up, a good thick midsection strength in your core. For upper body assistance stuff, I keep it simple. Variations of floor press and variations of incline. That's about it. I haven't benched in probably 2 years. I do a lot of incline. I just feel for me now benching this puts too much stress on my shoulders.
Yeah.
So I'm stopping here on floor press. Right. I'm coming here on incline. So. But that's just me. I know that there's guys that bench, once or twice a week that are strong men. They're good and it works for them. So, to each their own. Like at Worlds, I was interviewing somebody, and there's 30 guys at Worlds. There's 30 different training methods.
Yep.
So what I do may not work for anybody except for one of you. So it's one of those things you can go back and try things, and if this works better for me, I get more results out of back squats than I do front squats, that kind of thing. So, like I said, there's no exact science. It's not as easy because everything's always varied. If you think, we could probably sit here for 20 minutes and ramble off different strongman events.
Sure.
So, there's not 5 staples. So, you have to be good at everything, but,
See, for an athlete, what do you your top event? Because obviously, maybe say I don't know if this is what you believe or not. Maybe the yokes, maybe farmers is better for an athlete. Maybe you don't like the tire as much. You like this better. So if you're an athlete, maybe you're not competing. What would be your top strongman exercises that you would do with them?
Probably the core ones. I love tire flips just because I think too many coaches have too many kids doing cleans, a variation of cleans too quick.
Something simple.
There's a reason I tell people, parents come to me, they're like, oh, well, is my kid going to be doing power cleans and leg cleans? I said, no, there's a reason it's in the Olympics. It's hard. It's a hard lift. You're not laying on a bench, pressing it off your chest, which obviously bench is a lot more complex than that. I know, not knocking bench press, but the power cleans, so many things come into.
Very intricate. Yep.
So many things come into play that I don't need some 16-year-old kid that can't walk and chew gum trying to do power cleans or hang cleans or whatever it is. So, we'll flip tires. I mean, it's the same exact movement,
Yep.
and, reduces risk of injury. They can, and especially if I train a lot of football players, and I mean, that's the position they're in, you know what I mean? They're tilted forward, they have to get their hips through, drive through, so, I like that, as a lift. I like a lot of prowler pulls and pushes.
So what type of sled?
You can overload, you can do sprints, and so, I don't have my kids running very far, but I mean, they'll do, 20 sets of 20-yard sprints, and I mean, they're dead, their hamstrings are smoked, so, they're getting faster, and they're doing it with weighted loads. I do a lot of keg medleys for conditioning and just overall strength, so,
carries.
I'll have kegs from 30 up to 200 for the kids filled with water, so I'll line up, 4 kegs, let's say a 90, 100, 110, 120, and, they start at the keg, they run it down to the end of my turf, which is about 20 yards, sprint back, grab it, and they do that 4 times. So, 1, they're sprinting, 2, you carry a keg, you're entitled, you can't target one thing, your grip, upper back, your hamstrings, your core, they're working, it's a total body movement. So it's like conditioning and resistance training at the same time. I have to do a lot of stuff with kegs and water, for stabilization.
Yeah, that's great.
I had a receiver, and last night he hates me, but I had him doing overhead step-ups with a 40-pound keg with water in it. I mean,
yeah,
kid's strong as hell, but I mean, you think 40 pounds can't be that heavy, but when you get, 20 pounds of water swinging back this way, you got to be slow and controlled, and then I had him do overhead box squats with the same thing with kegs. So I mean, by the end of it, your shoulders are fried, your triceps are fried, your back, your core, your legs, your shape. It's only 40 pounds. I mean, he was doing 4 sets of 5 with 40 pounds. People are 4 sets of 5, 40 pounds for box squats can't be that hard. It's 40 pounds.
Yep.
But he was dead. Some of my more advanced kids, a lot of my linemen I'll do yoke with. I think it helps with their feet. It forces them to take short, choppy steps.
Sure.
As opposed, a lot of linemen, I played line, so a lot of linemen, they want to overstep. And
right.
Just like on a yoke, when we go over it later, as soon as you're out here and you work any movement, one, you've lost all maneuverability. You never see somebody playing defense in the NBA like this. You never see anybody blocking like this or playing D-line like that. Everything, you have to be right in here with the yoke. You can't be much further than that. As soon as you overextend with 500 pounds on your back, if you're like this, you lose all your power. So, it forces you to take short, choppy, fast steps. Again, it kills your core, kills your hamstrings, and it works on their foot speed.
Nice.
I think that's probably, I don't think, and if you want to graduate some kind of clean press, I'd say a log.
Yeah,
it's not as technical you're with a log, your elbows can't go too many places. You can't throw your hip. I mean, you have to do it in the right motion with a log, just because it's so big and it's in front of you and you're holding here and you pull it in tight. Log cleaning presses, and I personally think it's the same exact thing as a clean and press. And especially with football players, it carries over because your hands are right here, and you're pressing up. So I like that for athletes.
All right, got one more for you. So for people starting out, so go back, that was more for the athletes, now for more people competing. What are some of maybe the 4, maybe we'll just say with 4 biggest mistakes that you see when people are training themselves, their biggest fatal flaws, things that always you got to avoid to make sure you're not overtraining, things to make sure that you're getting everything out of the training you're doing, getting optimal results for what you're doing.
I think 1A and 1B is your ego. It's something new, so you're not going to be, if you're the strongest guy or girl in the gym and you go to be strongman, you're probably going to have to lower your numbers. It's different things. You're not used to front squatting or log pressing. I know that you might be able to strict press 300 pounds with a barbell. You get a log on your chest and you're doing 195. So you have to check where you go at the door. I had to do it, and then being an athlete, it sucks at first. You want to be the best, strongest, the fastest, the biggest, whatever it is, you want to, but, if you're smart and, if like real athletes know that, to get better, sometimes you have to take a step or two backwards before you can go forwards. So I think that's the thing, you have to recognize your weaknesses. If you're not good at something, that's just more reason to work at it. Don't be afraid of it. And overtraining is another one. 3, max 4 exercises a day, even with accessory stuff. You don't need to, you're not a bodybuilder. They can spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym doing stuff. They have to isolate every little muscle, which, if you're doing like the lifts right, strongman, like you don't need to isolate those little muscles because you're getting the work done with the farmers, with the yoke, with the overhead presses, with stones. And I think, find somebody that knows what they're talking about, whether it's, a person that actually did compete, a gym, it's, you have to walk that fine line from taking advice from idiots and taking advice from people that are, it's just like anything else in the gym. I'm sure like you guys have been in gyms and people are telling you, oh, well, squatting's bad for your knees. You're going too deep, you're doing this wrong. Like, that's why I'm glad now I don't train in, a real gym. I had a guy tell me, I forget what he told me, I was doing something wrong in a lift, or I wasn't using enough of something. And I just thought, oh, okay, I'll take your advice into mind. Or I was cleaning the axle. It was a fixed axle for the Arnold, and he's like, I was continentally, and he's like, you just clean it like this. And I was like, I wish it was that easy. It's a 400-pound welded axle. So I mean, for every one person that can give you good advice, there's 100 that don't give you good advice. So just be wary of the people that are trying to help. A lot of people they don't know, and especially with something like strongman powerlifting, sports performance. People have no idea anything. Even coaches, like high school coaches. I've had a really tough time where I'm from. One, getting into that market with high school kids because the coaches think their way is the only way, but they don't realize when the kid goes away to college, he's going to have a position coach, a head coach, a strength coach, a lady that makes his meals, a lady that schedules his classes, an RA in his dorm. The head coach can't do it all, and they're so set in their ways. I have these kids at a school, the school my wife teaches at, and I volunteered my services to help coach football and in the weight room last spring, and he politely declined. He said, no, we're good. If 2 and 18 over 2 years is good, I don't know what bad is. So, I kept my mouth shut. I have 3 or 4 of his kids now. But, they go out and they run a mile before practice for football. I've never run a goddamn mile in my life. It's just stupid. And I mean, my wife gets mad because, she's like, you can't say that. And I'm like, if he was doing things the right way and not dumb, like that's,
there's no rhyme or reason for it. Just we've always done it that way. Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, when's the last time a football player had to run a mile? Never. And when's the last time a football player had to run more than 40 yards at full speed? Probably never. I mean, you obviously have to do more for conditioning, but they just, a lot of coaches don't get it, and their way is the only way, and it's.
You gotta be open-minded.
It's tough.
You gotta be open to new ideas and try and learn from people. I think that's huge. A lot of people kind of don't want to ask for help, and I think that's a huge mistake. So people like you guys are doing great being at these seminars and stuff, educating yourself and networking and meeting these people. So cool. You can cut. We're actually.